Hey, what's up, guys? So, Killjoy came out yesterday, along with everything else in Act 2, and I played Killjoy for probably about 10 games, and I got some pretty good clips with her, and I've really adapted to the way to play Killjoy. One thing you have to think about, kind of common sense, but she is a Sentinel, and so for somebody like me, I'm used to playing duelists. I'm almost always the duelist on our team, so it's a little different playing a Sentinel. You have to play a lot more passive. And so after, I don't know, about 6 hours of playing Killjoy and watching some Killjoy videos and different clips and stuff like that, and really sitting down and thinking about good places to place her turret, alarm bots, how to use her utility to get the most out of it, I thought I'd make a video on just kind of a tutorial slash guide on how to really get the most out of her. Because I did do really well with her. I got multiple aces, an unbelievable amount of 4Ks. I had some really good games with her, and pretty much I'm pretty sure every game but one that I played, I was match MVP. Now, of course, some of that has to do with just raw gun skill and things like that, but there's some things that you have to think about when playing Killjoy. Again, like I said, she is obviously more catered to defense than offense. I'd say her two really powerful positions are either offense post plant or defense holding a site. Occasionally post plant she can be good as well on defense, but really her offensive kit isn't all that great. Her nades are decent, and her turret can be good for like flank watch and stuff like that, or potential crossfires if you can get onto site. But she really excels on those post-plant scenarios, and then just locking down a site. I felt, in my personal opinion, while playing her, that on Haven, A site is the way to go, especially if you already have a cypher playing C site, and then playing Killjoy on Bind, I almost always played A with a cypher on B. This is assuming that you have two Sentinels. If you have both the cypher and the cypher and the Killjoy, and a Sage, her on Haven. If you bring three Sentinels, one to hold down each site, Killjoy on A, Sage on B, cypher on C. And then let your other people either help out on A, play garage, help out on C. I mean, it's a very difficult defense to push through, having three Sentinels. And that's just something we haven't been able to do until this update came out. But yeah, so Haven A site, Bind A site, Split. I also played her on A site. She can be really powerful on B as well, playing essentially what would be the cypher standard. But of course, we had a cypher playing B, so I just played A, and it was pretty easy to lock down. When using her Nano Swarm grenades, you can either use them essentially proactively or reactively. You can place them down on defense to just hold down an area, using it kind of like a cypher cage in a way, and then just activating it once they're about to walk over it or once they're on top of it. Or you can use it reactively and just keep them in your kit and then throw them when you know somebody's pushing in that direction, which is the way that I liked to use them. I feel like they're more powerful that way because you can use them on different sites if they push another site and you have to rotate, and that's kind of how you're going to be using them on offense unless it's post-plant. Post-plant, you can just sit it on the spike or right near the spike, and wait for them to defuse. Obviously, they can destroy it, but it's a little harder for them to see it, especially in clutch situations. You can get a lot of utility out of that. Now, like I said, I like to use them reactively, and kind of use them if I know that a team is pushing a particular line of sight, whether it be A long, C long, A short, whatever it may be. As they're pushing in, you just pull it out, toss it where they're about to be, and you can either use it as kind of like an area of denial type thing to slow them down, or if they decide to push through it, or you time it right, I mean, you can flat out kill them or do a lot of chip damage. It can force them to push onto site, which can give you really, really good timing, as they're sprinting onto site trying to get out of that nano swarm. Now the turret, I love the turret. It's not that powerful. There was one game on Bind where I got a double kill with the turret, which was kind of insane. But the turret is great because it forces, it essentially allows you to have a crossfire without having another teammate there. And if you do have another teammate there, you essentially have a three-way crossfire. So when you're on defense and you're sitting it down, what you need to be thinking about is where, number one, it's hard for them to shoot it, right? You want it to be in an off angle, if that makes sense, because if it's on a direct angle, let's say peeking straight down A long, well, all they have to do is swing and shoot it. However, if let's say you put it in the corner next to A long, as they walk into sight, I'm speaking of Haven here, let's say you put it in the corner and then you sit in the opposite corner or you sit in a different angle. As they push onto sight and they start shooting it, they have to turn around to shoot that turret, which gives you an easy kill if, as they're destroying the turret, you turn on them. So that's a really, really good way to use it on defense. Now, the other way that I've kind of been using it is essentially putting it in the same spot that I am, but slightly off. So on Bind A short, there's those big boxes on U-Haul and the big boxes on Cubby. You've got Heaven that you can sit it in. And then you just watch an angle essentially very similar to what it's holding, and it forces them to decide whether they want to shoot you or shoot the turret. Now, logically, obviously, they want to shoot you over the turret because you can kill them a lot quicker than the turret can. But sometimes in those quick scenarios, they're not going to think properly, and they're going to shoot the turret before they shoot you if that's what they see first, which can give you really easy kills. And if they do shoot you first, your turret is sitting there doing chip damage. It may only be six damage per volley, but like I said, I've gotten multiple. I probably got 10, 15 kills with the turret throughout my first day playing, and it just shows you how powerful that turret can really be. And then you have her alarm bot. Now, in my personal opinion, and it might just be the way that I was using it, I feel like the alarm bot isn't as powerful as I thought it would be. It has to be, even though it has that little circle, it still has to be line of sight of the person to actually attach onto them and jump after them. So for instance, if you put it up against a wall and it doesn't have line of sight of the person on the other side of the wall, it will not jump towards them. So that's something to think about. When you place it down, you have to place it down so that it has a line of sight onto them. Now, it is very easy to destroy, but again, kind of like the turret, they have to destroy it. So, that gives you a sort of crossfire. It's not really a crossfire, but they have to choose between the two to shoot. And if it actually does lock onto them, then they are vulnerable and will do extra damage, as well as alarming you that somebody's there. So all in all, her kit, just her basic C, Q, and E kit is really powerful and is really useful. But then, you have to know how to play them right? If you just randomly set the alarm bot and the turret around the map, it's not going to do much. And if you just sit her nano swarms down, and then the other team doesn't push that direction, well, then that was, again, wasted utility. One great thing to think about, though, the turret is a signature ability, so you get it every round. You never have to pay for it. The alarm bot can be picked up similar to a cypher trap, but it has a 20-second cooldown when you pick it up. So let's say you're towards the end of the round and you go to pick it up. If you don't have that 20 seconds left in the round for it to actually come back into your kit, you will not have it next round and you'll have to buy it again. So if you are trying to save your money and pick it up, you want to pick it up preemptively, because if the round ends too early, you're not going to pick it up. But you also don't want to pick it up just right at the beginning of the round, because then you're not going to get any utility out of it and you have to wait another 20 seconds for it to come back. But 20 seconds isn't that long. So what I've been doing is if I'm, say, holding A site, I have all my utility down, minus the nano swarms because I keep those. If I have my turret and my alarm bot down, and I know for a fact that they are full committing to the other site, I immediately pick them up. And to pick them up, all you have to do is hold Q or hold E, whichever one you want to pick up. You don't have to be looking at it. You can pick it up from anywhere in the map. And then as they commit onto that other site and plant, you then have your utility back. You have your turret and your alarm bot back for that, post-plant situation. Now, all of that being said, that leaves her ultimate, and her ultimate is great and terrible. So when you put her turret down, it can be destroyed. You have to pay attention to where you're sitting it down, because you don't want it to get destroyed within that time frame before it actually goes off. And then when you sit it down, so you have to sit it down in a secure location. Watch on the minimap the circle that it is going to hold, because you want it to hold the spots you don't want them to be in, obviously. And then that timer is 15 seconds, so you have to, I believe it's 15 seconds. You can't just immediately push on a site, because they have time to sit in that circle. You can't just expect nobody to be there. But all in all, her utility is great. She's a great agent, a great sentinel, and really powerful. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something about Killjoy. I know a lot of people don't have her unlocked yet, so hopefully this helps you, when you unlock her and go to play her. Or if you've already been playing her, gave you some tips you maybe didn't think about, or just some refreshers on the agent. But all in all, using her ability, the one last thing I will say before this video ends is stacking her abilities can be really helpful. You can spread out her abilities, that way they watch multiple angles, or you can put that alarm bot down and have the turret or the nano swarm ready. That way when it goes off and they are vulnerable to more damage, you can use those other abilities to do that extra damage. All of a sudden the turret goes from doing 6 damage a volley to 12 damage a volley, and your nano swarm does exponentially more damage because of that alarm bot. So that's just something to think about when you're placing things down, whether you want to really stack one part of the map with your utility or spread it out around your site. But in any case, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I was streaming for about 4.5 hours last night. I appreciate all you who watched the stream. If you got this far in the video and you happen to be on the stream, I know I had like 600 people come and check out the stream, so I really appreciate that, guys. I'm going to continue streaming, and yeah, keep putting out videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'd appreciate if you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you see me streaming, come check it out. We have some good fun on the stream. But in any case, take it easy, guys.
One enemy remaining.
I have 1 bullet, so somebody else kill him. Oh, thank you.